Hey guys, my name is Bando, this is Brexit Bando, and I'm probably going to make some people angry with this video, but I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Tournament players are low effort Warhammer hobbyists. So this image was sent to me by a subscriber, shout out to Dr. Ono, and it shows a organised tournament for Warhammer 40,000. And as you can see, the terrain on these boards is nothing but some plain L-shaped MDF ruins. They are not even cut to replicate, Gothic ruins. There's no effort made with them to make them look slightly interesting. They are conforming to the footprint of the laid out tournament rules, and they block line of sight. There isn't even a battle mat. There isn't even some grass or a sheet. It is a bare table in what looks like possibly some sort of, school hall or something. And that is it. There are a couple of little barricades that look like they're made maybe 3D printed or possible MDF terrain. And that's it. There isn't, from what I can tell, any trees. There's nothing. And these are the people that Games Workshop is currently catering to, because these people will follow the meta. They will throw their army away when it's no longer the best possible one, and they will buy a new one. And I know that's not all tournament players, but there is a large proportion of tournament players who must follow the meta, which is the most effective technique available. And I despise it. I despise meta. I despise meta gaming. I play games like EVE Online, and I hate it that this is the setup that you must use, otherwise you are terrible. I like choice. I like experimenting. I like trying new things in my gameplay. And most of all, I enjoy painting and modelling. So this is literally an affront to my senses. This is like people are paying to play here. You are paying to take part, and that is the level of quality that you are being shown as a tournament goer. Now I understand terrain can be expensive. It can, I'm not expecting an independent tournament that is trying to make money, and let's face it, most tournaments are run to try and generate a little bit of profit. I'm not expecting them to go out of their way and buy an absolute boatload of GW plastic terrain and spend hours putting it together and hours painting it, and then, letting some random smelly Herbert from off the street come in and play his models over it and possibly damage it. Now, I get that. But we don't only have access to GW terrain. We have a lot of terrain. You can buy sets that are laid out to be the exact tournament pack, like this, MDF sets, but they've just cut them out to make them look like Gothic ruins. And they've already painted, they've like sprayed them sort of grey. That's literally miles better than this. Now, some of us, when we started the hobby, would have started out with games like this. I remember very fondly playing the original Lord of the Rings game with my little sister, and the terrain was, well, it was the box the game came in, and it was the fruit bowl. That was it, that was what we used for some terrain, and it was a hill and a big rock in the middle. And we played on the kitchen table. But that's not where we stayed, because we read the books and we looked at the pictures and how great the terrain was, and look, all those craggy rocks and hills and all the grass and Ammon Hen and Weathertop and all of those things. This is supposed to be the peak of the Warhammer hobby. This is the semi-professional Warhammer hobby. And this is what we're seeing? Guys, 3D printers are cheap. You can buy an FDM printer for like £90 and print out enough terrain for one of these tables in a weekend. It's not difficult. And again, I get it, time, money, effort, etc. But at a certain point you have to have some self-respect. I mean, if I don't run all, like, events, but there are several people in Discord who have been asking if we're ever going to do a meetup, and I have jokingly said, yes, sure, we'll do Bando Palooza, and we'll have a meetup. And if we were to ever do that and actually play some games together, I can guarantee you that this is not the level of terrain we would be playing with. I got some other things here, some other pictures of some terrain. That's your objective marker. Little bit better terrain. You can see what I was talking about, you know. This one has some cutouts. You can actually kind of play make-believe that your guys are holding a ruin. But back in the day, there used to be articles in White Dwarf and how to paint Citadel miniatures on how to make a cool thematic objective. And this is all because of the tournament players. Oh, it's not you must be within 3 inches of the objective. No, they've just decided now it is this pie plate. That is my objective, black and white. You know, I must be right or wrong. I cannot have any nuance. There's no gameplay. There's no sportsmanship anymore. You can see here, this is a bolt action table. No, not really any zoom in. And this looks great. I wouldn't say this is particularly... It's certainly of the higher end, but this isn't particularly uncommon for bolt action tables. You know, they put down loads of hedgerows and they'll have like a floppy rubber road that they'll put down going around, and then they'll put some trees near it, and they'll use little mats to make fields, and they'll put some huts and houses, and they'll have little MDF cutout houses. And next thing you know, you've got a little French village, and it doesn't look 100% like this, but it's pretty close. And then 40k, we just get this. We get, at best, some spray painted bricks. And a battle map, finally. Ooh. This is what we used to see back in 3rd, 4th and 5th edition, was this level of quality. You'd see these boards in White Dwarf where they were building really intricate stuff. You had castles being built for Warhammer Fantasy. You'd have things like the Battle of Big Tooth River for 40k, where you had a great big desert board with beleaguered Praetorians holding structures in the centre, being surrounded by orcs. And now Grand Tournament is, here's a block of polystyrene. It's so low effort. It's offensively low effort. At the end of the day, why should I bring a painted army to this? If I'm going to put the same amount of effort in they are, I could bring an unpainted army that is full of proxies. Yeah, this is my Tyranids army. The 2 Coke cans of Carnifexes, and the Pepsi Max can is my Hierophant. Why would I bother painting it? Why would I bother spend hundreds of hours painting my army to the highest ability I have, basing it coherently, adding tufts and grass and different types of sand, and painting it, and then blending things and shading things and washing things, to turn up to an event that looks like this? And then Games Workshop has the gall to go that these are the people that they want to attract to the game and that they want to support. And maybe this will help explain why certain people have been so angry about the changes to Heresy. Because it's clear there are people who take this hobby far more seriously. And I think that is the right word. I think it is people who take it with, more seriously. They certainly treat it with more respect. And it's not these people. And it's not the tournament organisers. These guys don't treat you with any respect if they're going to put that down to be your gameplay. There's not much you have to do in Warhammer, Treat your opponent with respect. Be polite. Turn up with a painted army if you can. Don't cheat. That's it. pretty much. You know, there's some more, you know, bring your own stuff, don't always scrounge things, you know, don't play super competitively. But if we are going to play competitively, you know, generally don't cheat, be a good sport, except when you lose, you know, that sort of thing. But this is disrespectful. It's poor. It's, I'm not going to say borderline criminal, that's a bit hyperbolic, but I certainly, if I was invited, oh, here's the great big tournament in, you know, bumfuck nowhere, and, you know, I spend an hour getting there, maybe I go down the night before, I brought my friends from my local game club, and I've got them all excited about this great big Defense of Dilda 7 campaign we're going to play, and then we get there and the wonderful battlefield of Dilda 7 is this. Do you think I'm going to go and post all my cool pictures and invite everyone on my social media account? I'm going to go and tell everyone at my local games club, hey guys, go up to this place and play at that campaign next year, it's fantastic. No, I'm going to put you on blast on social media. I'm going to go, I can't believe I paid 35 quid for the ticket for this thing. I can't believe I spent 90 quid on a hotel room and 100 quid on the train ticket to get there. You know, what? I get that we all want to play the game and throw some dice and stuff, but am I the only one here who thinks this is an issue? You know, I want to create my army. I want to have my Warhammer hobby, and I want to show some level of respect and skill. That's why things like Best Painted Army Awards exist. If they don't, what's the point? Should I just spray my models with, you know, car primer, one colour, and then just draw 3 coloured lines on them and go, oh, I've hit the 3 colour minimum, you can't kick me out anymore? No. No, I want my army to look really cool, and I want it to be thematic, and I want it to fit the setting, and I want my characters to have names and an idea of who they are and what they're doing there. And then I want to fight on battlefields that are really, really cool, and I want to take some cool photographs, and I want to be telling my friends about it and be just like, oh, and then we came rushing down the dry riverbed, and this predator appears out of nowhere and just blew my Terminators away. You know, that's how you get people excited. When you see pictures of these great games. When you see pictures like this and you see the games being played on it. That's what excites the kids to come play next time. That is what gets them fired up. It fires their imagination. I don't know anyone who would look at that realistically as like, you know, a 10 or 11 year old and go, oh yeah, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. No, not at all. You go to modelling shows, you go to model railway exhibitions, you see the kids looking at stuff like this and they are enraptured. They are locked in because there's so much detail to see. But this is a schoolroom. Look at it. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you agree or if you disagree. Maybe you're a tournament player who thinks this is absolutely acceptable. If you are a tournament player who thinks this is fine, I want you to defend it. I want you to pop down in the comments and I want you to tell me why you think this is absolutely fine. Why you're happy to pay your money and play a game like that. And I get it, sometimes, you know, if you have no access to any other games, you'd be happy to get what you can get. And yeah, I'll give you that. But anyway, if you guys have got to the end of this video, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And as always, if you want to support the channel, you can like, comment, subscribe. If you've made it this far, just type pasta in the chat between you and me. Alright guys, have a great day. It's Friday. My name is Bando, this is Brexit Bando, and yeah, peace.